What's up?
Welcome. I'm here with one of my great friends, Adam Devika. Say hello, Adam.
Hey everyone, what's going on?
We're listening to some of his favorite music. Do we have any Weezer fans out in Periscope world? Adam loves Weezer, right?
Bonus points if you could tell me this song's name.
Okay, so
bonus points.
That's what we're looking for. Who can name
watching.
this song?
I'm watching.
We'll let you hear it for just a second. Anyone?
Go.
Somebody said Weeper.
Weeper,
oh
no.
boy.
Weezer.
Can you name the song?
Come on, someone.
Anyone? Adam.
Oh.
I don't know. Do you have the wrestling belt with you?
No, it didn't make the trip.
All right, I don't think we've had anyone name the song, but we're going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. So, Adam, if you'll close that computer, I'm going to flip this around. Hey, Kurt. All right, y'all, so I'm trying my tripod for the first time so that we can get both of us.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is a disaster. Let me move the computer. All right.
We'll figure it out.
Hey, everyone. So we're using a tripod for the first time. So I'm not going to be like wiggling and shaking. Yeah, can you see both of us? We'll just have to scoot in.
Out.
We'll be best of friends right here.
There we go.
So I'm really excited to have all of you on, what is this, Sunday night? Is this Sunday night?
Hey, Brittany.
So Adam knows some people in the room.
I could say, yeah. I have two friends.
He has two whole friends, so it's a good day for him. But we are going to be talking in just a second about classroom cheers and chants. So it's a really great way to motivate your students. If you've been to the Ron Clark Academy, and we'll introduce ourselves here in just a second, then you know all about how all day long we're drumming, cheering, chanting. It's a great way to motivate your kids. So to introduce myself, for those of you that are a first-time scoper with me, just put firstie in the comment. That's kind of my little drill to let me know who's the first, if it's your first scope or your first time with me. And then also be sure, because I have Adam with me, so be sure to swipe up or right or left or touch the Perry Buddy and make sure that you share it with all your scope friends. So I am Hope King. I'm a teacher blogger at Elementary Shenanigans and a TPT author, and I teach at the Ron Clark Academy. And this is Adam, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Adam, because you'll do a way better introduction than I probably would.
I thought you'd do well, but I'll try it myself. So my name's Adam Devika, and I'm a former Ron Clark Academy teacher and professional development trainer. I have since moved back to North Carolina for a second go-round, and I am now a clinical professor at Wake Forest University, which happens to be my alma mater as well. Go Demon Deacons!
Boo! Sorry.
We have some Duke fans in the house, but. I'm so happy to be back in Atlanta. I'm here for the weekend to go to a wedding, so I just thought I'd stop by and see my friends here, and I thought it'd be fun to do a Periscope while we're at it.
I'm putting them to work, basically. Okay. So before we get started, because we are going to give you some things that you can put into action. If you're already back in the classroom, this will be a great way to kind of reinforce some concepts and get your kids engaged this next week. Or if you haven't gone back to school yet, it's a perfect time because it's something new that you can think about. But I've got to put in a little plug, y'all, because I am always looking for professional development as far as reading materials are concerned. There's a lot of things I do not like because they bore me to tears. There's a lot of things I love, and Adam's book is one of them. So his book is called Inside the Trenches. It's by Adam Devika. So his last name is kind of crazy. It's Dovico. I don't even know. Where are you from?
We all can't have 4 letters in our last name.
Right. Well, people think when I introduce myself...
My fellow Italians? Any Italians? Anyone? Someone, please?
Italian is what he is. But it's called Inside the Trenches. And it's an educator's guide for what you can do in the classroom. It has a lot of really great skills and techniques and strategies that you can put into place in your classroom. So if you're looking for one more read, this is also really inspirational. And he has a lot of his own lessons and ideas, like I said, that you can implement. So make sure you check that out. It's called Inside the Trenches by Adam Devika. So look that up and get that right away.
I paid her for that.
He did. I'm actually expecting a cut of his. And do you notice how I love to be on top of the camera?
I'm honored to take the scene.
Back here, relax.
That's what she does.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started and talk to you about cheers and chants and how we incorporate them. We're going to do some cheers and chants for you to give you some examples of ones that you can put into play in your classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take it. I'm going to stop talking, believe it or not, for like 30 seconds. It's all I can handle. And let Adam kind of explain what we're going to do and explain the concept behind it, and then we'll give you some examples.
Awesome. Well, I'll answer a question first. Someone asked what grade do I teach. I have taught in the past 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I was a curriculum facilitator for an elementary school, and then I also did professional development for K through 12. So I've done model lessons in every single grade level, and now I teach college.
When I tell you that this man can go into any classroom on the spot, like it could be kindergarten to college, like it could be even, I don't know, what's like the, no kindergarten? Sorry,
I've done it before.
But like calculus and all those smart people classes, like he can go in there and teach a lesson on the spot without even being prepared. So brilliance is all right here. Oh. Like I could never do that. So he has done traveling for RCA. So what's in his brain, you want to hear, believe me. All right, so let's get started with Cheers and Chants.
I paid her for that too. Okay, so for those of you in the classroom, this year you are bound to have students in your class. I know you see like half my face here. You're going to have students that have come, that are coming to you that have maybe social, behavioral, academic struggles in the past. Maybe they just, they were flying under the radar. Perhaps they just had some rough times before coming to you. Well, guess what? Every single one of us either has had these students, will have these students, and it's just part of teaching. So the big question is, what do you do about it? Are you just going to let them have another year flying under the radar? Are they going to have another year of maybe getting deeper down, maybe getting more depressed, maybe hating school more? Or do you turn it around? And how do you turn it around? If I had the one answer, I'd be a millionaire right now. If there was one answer to this, it'd be so easy, but there's not. But there are several little things that you can do along the way to help these students feel more confident, get uplifted, get more inspired to go to school and do well. And one of these things that you can do is doing chants and cheers to really uplift them. So there's a whole process of things that you can do to even implement these things. We're going to just kind of introduce that today. And so both at the Ron Clark Academy and across the country, as I've been able to go into schools, I find ways to get these opportunities to uplift students. That's really what it's about. It's about getting them more confident. And so personally, one thing that I do is in the beginning of the year, I'm going to find ways to model these types of things. Because there are some teachers, and it's certainly fine, where you explicitly teach the chants and cheers. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's better when you have the students can connect that chant or cheer with what they're actually chanting or cheering about. It's not just this isolated type of lesson. So I find moments where a student either maybe gave this amazing answer, something that really needs to be celebrated, or, and you know who your students are pretty quickly, it's a student who struggled for years. It's a student who has never had that opportunity to be celebrated. And so maybe they just gave a really okay answer. It was like but you really want to uplift them. And so you throw it in there. You find moments. And then what I'll do is say, Hope, that was the best answer. That was really, really great. And so, y'all, do you see how Hope gave that answer? That's just not a good answer. That's an awesome answer. And so we're going to celebrate her for that. And that's when I would introduce it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so, you don't have to be great at writing cheers or the best, you don't have to have the best rhythm or the best anything. Believe me, if I can do cheers and chants in my classroom, anybody can, just period. And so a lot of times, especially people always, when they come to the academy and they see our kids, because if you observe my classroom and if you observed Adam's when he was there, we're constantly up and moving and cheering and chanting. But like he said, it's connected to the content. It's connected to something so that it has a meaning. It's not just that I'm like, okay, y'all, let's get up and cheer or chant, because then that throws off the rhythm. It throws off what you're trying to teach. So it's important that you think about, before you even introduce a cheer or a chant, you think about, how is this going to enhance my instruction and make it actually better, because you don't want anything to take away. So you don't have to be the best. My kids, the chants that I'm going to share with you, and then at the end we're going to talk about call and response. You definitely want to stay here for that, because we're going to talk about how you can get your kids' attention like that in an instant versus the whole counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you get to 1 and it's like 5, 4, 3, and you're starting over again. So we're going to share that at the end. But think about ways to integrate and incorporate cheers and chants that really enhance, motivate your kids, but doesn't take away from the flow of the classroom. So I think we're ready to share. Y'all, let me know in the comments
y'all want to see some?
If y'all are ready for some cheers and chants. Hands on top, everybody. Oh, they've got some good ones.
Yeah,
so we'll look at some of yours
y'all
too.
add some too.
Yeah, definitely. If you have easy ones, put them in the comments, because I'm sure people want to hear them. So they're saying, let's go. Ready? Yes, here we go. All right, so we're going to show you some cheers and chants that we use with our kids. I honestly can't take credit for a lot of mine because my kids wrote them, but I'm going to let Adam give us a couple first.
Okay, I'll start off. So the first one has a little bit of a backstory. Some of you know this if you've heard me before, if you've read the book, but when I was little, when I was growing up, I had this big passion. I had this huge dream of what I wanted to be when I grew up, and it wasn't a teacher. I wanted to be a professional wrestler. That was my dream. That was my passion. I grew up in the 80s, and so
I don't mean to laugh.
It's okay. I can laugh at myself now. But I wanted to be a professional wrestler, just like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. I want to be just like them. genetics, unfortunately, were not on my side, and so it just didn't work out. But I found out that a lot of my students knew, like, all the wrestlers today, like John Cena and The Rock, and so I incorporated some of the modern wrestling things into my classroom. And so this first chant that I want to show you,
they're giving you muscles, like
that's the best I can do. But this first one I want to show you came from kind of the wrestling world. So there's this wrestler, his name's The Miz, and he's really cocky, over the top, self-centered, and he has this catchphrase where he comes out on stage, he has a microphone, and he goes, "I'm The Miz, and I'm awesome!" And so it's like, ooh, this could be great. So in my classroom, I introduced this, and when Hope gave a great answer, I said, "Y'all, Hope, that's a great answer." And the kids, I would train them on the cue. Always have a cue for when the kids should join in. And so I would say, "Y'all, that's Hope, and she's awesome!" And I know, like, it's hard because you don't see my whole body here, but it's like a full body experience.
Wait, we can give you the whole hold
all right,
okay,
so
okay.
you're gonna see the king's house a little bit here too.
All right, it's clean today. It's clean today.
So it's a full body experience. So y'all say, "Y'all, that's Hope, and she's awesome!" And so you got to really.
He had a little help from Wade. Wade is hiding in the background. Now I can't get.
Wade will
okay, there we go.
parabomb in just a second. So you got to have a full energy body experience there.
And y'all, do you see how he just did that? And like, he's on Periscope in front of adults, and he like totally went for it. When you're doing cheers and chants, you've got to go for it. You got to buy into it. You can't introduce a cheer or a chant and say, "All right, y'all, so here's what we're going to do." When somebody does something really well, we're going to say, "That's Hope, and she's awesome." Because that's what your students are going to replicate. So when you do it, you got to do exactly what Adam just showed you. And if you buy into it, then your kids are going to buy into it. A lot of people always want to say, they'll email me. It's like one of the biggest questions, and Adam, I'm sure, gets it too. "Well, my kids just really aren't into this stuff. They really don't feel it. They don't really show emotion. They don't get excited." And I always look at that teacher and I say, what are you doing? How are you introducing it? Are you just standing up there and saying, "All right, y'all, here's what we're going to do"? You've got to, I see Kirk saying, be big. Yes, you got to be big, be bold, go big or go home type of thing. And sometimes it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. But if you want for your students to step outside of the box, you have to step outside of your comfort zone and really show them this is what this is what the expectation is. I want you to go even above and beyond that.
Remember, you set the tone.
You set the tone.
And that's for everything in your classroom.
Yeah.
So should I do one more?
Yeah, do another.
And then I'll turn it over.
Another.
Okay, so another one that I actually just started recently was, y'all know the Uptown Funk song? And so this one is for, it's sort of celebration, but also kind of like an uplifting thing when you have a student who's going to maybe show you something, model something, maybe come up to the front of the room and teach something. So it's more for that scenario. So if you heard the Uptown Funk song, I kind of pieced parts of it together to make this. So if I had Wade, he was going to come up and show me something, I'll say, I remember, it's all about the cue. So the teacher has a cue that'll let the students know what's about to happen. And I'll say, "All right, y'all, Wade's going to show us." And the students come in and say, "Y'all, Wade is going to show us. Wade is going to show us. Wade is going to show us. If you don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 hey." I apologize for my singing.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to just let it go.
No, you don't need to. I can make fun of myself for it. Once again, like Hope just said, if I can do this in front of a camera for hundreds of you, you could do it in front of 30 kids who think that you're going to be Justin Timberlake singing. So just let yourself go. Have fun with it. But that one's a new one that I've been trying out. So that's a lot of fun. All right, Hope, your turn.
I love it. Okay, now I get to make a fool of myself.
Yes.
Sweet. They know I'm really good at that. All right, so a lot of mine have been written by my students, like I said. And so people always want to know how that works. Well, at RCA, Adam, don't feel like I'm taking over the camera.
No.
At RCA, we're divided into houses. So we have our 4 houses. So what a lot of times I'll do is I'll give the kids just a few minutes, at the beginning or end of class. I'll divide them into houses. I'll let them come up with a cheer or a chant. I might give them a focus like, we need one to uplift others. We need one, to get our day started. And I'll let them write them with their houses. Then they get up and present, and we select the best one. So we vote on it. So we have a couple. So the first one is a little bit longer. It's the thing. So one thing we're really big about is when we have kids come into our class at RCA, we are started. Like before they even get in my door, we're starting instruction. We're starting the day. A lot of times the reason that kids aren't motivated and excited about learning is because they get in your classroom and then it's like, All right, y'all. So, yeah, we have a busy day and there's a lot of things. You can't be like that. From the minute as soon as I see my kids in the hallway, I start our class chant, and it's the way we start our day every single day, and they know they have that amount of time to get their materials out, get everything ready, and then as soon as that cheer or chant is over, we're starting our classroom instruction. So it's a kind of an indicator for them, oh, I've got to hurry, I've got to get this out, I've got to be ready. So the kids actually wrote this one. It's a little bit longer. And I'll put this Periscope on my blog. So that way, if you want to hear our singing, you can hear our singing every day if you want. So this one is just really simple. It goes, we are 2018, because it was 5th grade. Okay, so we are 2018, about to get turned up with Miss King. This is reading class. Yeah, we're learning fast. All up in our books. And then they would say the name of the book we were working on. So they might say, Nonfiction's got me hooked. Ah. Where the books at? Welcome to our 5th grade reading class. 2018, yeah, we learning fast. Let us show you, reading is a blast. Ah, reading class starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And at 1, every cheer or chant that we do in my class, we actually do something that my husband incorporated. So that was kind of the chant that they do. And the kids completely wrote that, so I can't take credit for it. And they make it really cool. They're like, when they say, where the books at, they add all these little lines, and they're dancing, and they're all over the place. I'm not trying to dance for y'all. I'll sing, but I'm not trying to dance, because my dancing's even worse. So that's our little chant, but then we always do a clap. So I did this clap in my class, and I'm about to tell y'all a secret. So, I work with my husband. Wade teaches at RCA. And he's about to do a Perry bomb.
Hey everybody.
All right. So he's going to show you something in a second. But I started doing this clap at the end because it was a way to focus them. And so they would do something like this. And then they would go bump, bump. So sorry for the phone shaking, but they would hit their desk so that way everything was out of their hands and they were focused up front. So it's something that I actually stole from my husband. Well, I would think, because he's my husband, like it'd be fine and he would feel so great that I was using something of his. He got so mad at me. He said, you cannot use my clap. You cannot. And so I talked to him.
They weren't doing it right. They were messing it up. It's got to be done right.
And so I talked him into letting me use it. My version's a little bit different. But they always incorporate that clap at the end to get them focused and to get them, set and focused on what they're going to do the next step. So that was one of my cheers or chants. And then Wade's going to share one in a second. He's going to make a little Periscope cameo. Is that what it's called, a cameo? Yeah. All right, so my next one the kids wrote, and it's when somebody does something really well, and so I'll say, she's so smart or something. I'll give them some kind of clue. I think that's the one. I have so many, y'all, I can't even remember half of them. I'll just spout off stuff and they know what to do. So I'll say, she's so smart, and they'll say, boom, clap the sounds of our brains. The smartness goes on and on and on, and boom, clap the sounds of our brains. She's really smart. She's really smart. Yeah, boom. And on boom, they're back in their seat. So it's just a way to really uplift the class and uplift somebody when they're really stepping out and doing something, that was really grand or spectacular. But it also gets the kids up and moving, and we've learned that movement is huge in classrooms. Your kids, if they just sit there the whole time, they're going to be bored. So that way you're uplifting one another, but you're also getting movement in. They stand up, they're really big about it, and then as soon as they sit down, we do our little clap, and we're right back to instruction. All right, so would you like to share yours?
Yeah, I want to share mine.
And he's being an overachiever because he's got his guitar.
No,
so
it's guitar.
It's guitar. So he's going to show you, and this is probably one of the coolest chants in the school, I have to say. Are you doing the dragon one?
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so they even do this one at basketball games, and it's like the way that he starts his class as well. So we use cheers and chants for different things. So this is, okay, so he's got to change it up. So you might use it to start your class. You might use it to motivate one another. You might use it as an educational cheer or a chant. So, all right, let's see what he's got.
All right, here we go. So, like Hope said, this is just come into class or you're cheering people on. And if you're feeling like a dragon, then go and dust your shoulders off. Ladies are dragons too, go and dust your shoulders off. This isn't crazy, baby. Don't forget that king told you get that dirt off your shoulders. So it's like a quick cheer.
Wade sings like I do.
That's it. So then you clap. So like the clap, and as soon as they hit the desks, they're focused and you're moving on with your content. So we do that one, and then we also do, just like Adam was talking about, if someone has a great response or a great answer to a question, we do light them up. So I use the guitar a lot in my classroom, and we incorporate it. So you guys want to help me with this?
Okay, we got
Just
it.
light them up.
Okay, he wants me to sing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
let's say Adam has a great response. Let's say, all right, kids, let's light him up. So it goes, you light him up, light him up, light him up, he's on fire.
I can't find the key.
Light him up, light him up, light him up.
I was getting it, y'all.
And then you do the clap. Yeah, she was getting it. Then you do the clap, and it's right into it again. So quick and easy. Always integrate that clap with everything that I do because it gets the kids right there, folks.
Come on, Kirk.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. So that's my parabomb for today.
So, y'all have seen what a crisis this is when the teachers actually do it. So if y'all don't feel good about it, then you should by now. Because
Yeah, I mean, you can, I mean,
I promise it sounds great
gotta be better than us.
when the kids do it.
Yeah.
I swear, y'all. I'm gonna have to get some kids to do it one day for y'all because it's awesome. So you've seen Adam's awesome cheer. I've shown you some of the ones that my 5th graders start their day with, what they do when somebody does something really well. Wade has shown you the dragon. We're the blue dragon, so we're always trying to incorporate dragons somewhere.
boy, I've got the swag one.
Okay, Swat, you want to do that one and then we'll do call and response?
Yeah. Okay, so
one more.
real quick one. I stole this from Miss Hildebrand, former teacher at Ron Clark Academy too. So Miss Hildebrand is like the master of taking songs and rewriting them to match these cheers and chants. So I'm stealing this from her, but I love it. So there's a song from several years ago called Pretty Boy Swag, and she wrote it to be Pretty Smart Swag. So Wade gives a great answer. Teacher said, oh, that's awesome. Y'all, did Wade do that with some swag? And that's where your drummer would come in with a... Everybody pay attention, because this right here is Wade's Pretty Smart Swag. Hey, pretty smart swag. Hey, pretty smart swag. Hey, pretty smart swag. And then the kids just sit down and go right back into action. That's an important thing that I think we all need to emphasize here. Yo, this is not like an opportunity for them to get up and have like 5 minutes of ruckus. Right. This is, you do your chant, bam, right back into it. So it's a chant focus.
I like that. Yeah, and I like that Adam mentioned that. And also, another thing that we have at RCA is we have djembe drums. So no, we don't have any beats right now, but when we have beats, I promise y'all they're a lot. Listen, we really love y'all. We're stepping out on a limb for y'all. We're cheering and chanting, and we don't even have a rhythm or anything like that. Not like I could keep the rhythm even if I had it. But the kids are on djembe drums, so it is really loud and it's really energetic. And like we teach our kids, you got to go big, go bold.
Thank you, Brittany.
So Adam just killed.
Thank you, Brittany.
You have a fan club. All right, so those are some longer, I call those really cheers, and you know, the shorter ones were chants. But another thing we want to talk about is, and it kind of goes back on what Adam was just saying about you're getting right back to instruction. So one of the things that I notice a lot when I'm doing games or doing something that's high energy or group work or something in the classroom, you know, and I'm trying to get my kids, because now I'm ready to teach and I'm trying to get them back and get them back in their seats and get them back focused. A lot of times I notice that the students are, you know, I'm trying to get them to come back or trying to get them to clean up, and I'm saying, all right, y'all, you know, in the past I've done this. And if you've done this, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so I've always done, all right, you've got 10 seconds. Okay, 10, 9, I'm counting down. I'm getting to 3, 2, 1. And I'm looking around the room and I'm like, 5, 4, all right, 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2. And by the time you get through, you've been counting down from 10 like 100 different times.
You know what else I see a lot?
Yeah.
As I
He's
went
in the
around,
classrooms all the time.
So I've traveled around the country and I've done a lot of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of observations of teachers, and what I often see is, the teacher needs the students. Maybe they're in group work, maybe they're getting a little bit loud. The teacher needs the students, and they'll go, all right, put your books down. Hey guys, over here, stop, folks. And so you're trying to redirect 30 individual kids, and instead of just one fell swoop. So our idea is now.
Yeah.
Let's
so
work
now
on
we're going to
getting
talk. I
all
saw
that
somebody
together.
say, they said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then they said 125. Because yes, you feel like that. I mean, we feel your pain. I've been there too. So one thing we do at RCA is called call and response. So what we do is we give the kids a word or a phrase, and then they have something. As soon as I say that, they know, oh, she's getting our attention. We're going to respond with this. And then as soon as that call and response is over, part of the magic is at the end of that, they're not like, oh, okay, all right, that was so much fun. Did you see? Oh, that was a lot of fun. You did a really great job on that. As soon as that's over, it's your job as a teacher to set the tone, and you've got to be right back to teaching. A lot of people will say, well, I tried the call and response, but the kids are still talking at the end of it. And I said, well, that's probably because you didn't start teaching right away. You've got to show them that as soon as that ends, boom, they're missing something if they're not paying attention. So we call it call and response, and we have several different ones. I'll start with a few, and then I'll let Adam kind of wrap it up. But I'll say, and I have shorter ones if the kids are in their desk and they're just kind of talking about something and I need to call them all back together. And then I have some longer ones, like say if we're doing literature circles or something that they're around the room and they have materials that they need to gather, then it'll be a little bit longer to give them the time that they need to get back in their seats. But I'll do things like, the kids wrote these two. One requires the nay-nay. All right, so
I just saw someone put on nay-nay.
Adam, show him the nay-nay. Go for it, Adam.
All right, come on.
All right, here's
do it
the
with
name.
me.
Oh, I will.
They all know it.
Go ahead. Show them the name.
No, watch me whip.
No.
Watch me nay-nay.
Okay, so there's the nene. All right, so it's this fabulous
That's whip
dance
and
that that's the whip and the nene. Okay, you got 2 for 1.
We'll just thank you like in a minute.
For this, the kids wrote this one and they do the nene with it. Now, if you can't do the nene, it's okay because I just do the pageant wave like so, and that is my nene, and it works. All right, so here's what we do: is I say, "Give me your attention," and the kids respond with, and they might get up, they might stand, they might be coming from different places around the room, but they say, "Let's pay attention." Really, Wade?
I was going to help you.
Oh, thank you. He knows this so well. It's because he teaches right next door to me. I say, "Give me your attention." And they say, "Let's pay attention, yeah. Let's pay attention, yeah." All right, now this is supposed to be a nay-nay. Your kids will do way better at that than I will. But as soon as at the end of that, ha ha ha, wow, Kirk, really, Kirk, you can't give me any more props than that. Kirk works at RCA with us, and he's my work husband, so he's allowed to make fun of me. But as soon as we finish that, then the kids will do the whole. And they hit their desk, and I'm starting to teach. I have simple ones. One of them, all I say is stop. So I'll say stop, and this is when they're talking about things and having group conversations, and I'm like, okay, I got to get their attention back together because sometimes they get so enthusiastic about what they're saying. So I say stop, and they say, "Wait a minute, let me throw my attention to you." And they put their hands on their desk and slap the desk. Or if I'm taking the conversation to someone else in the classroom, I might say, "Stop," and they'll say, "Wait a minute, let me throw my attention to Adam." And so then they're all looking at Adam because we're really big on tracking, and whomever is speaking in the classroom, they're focused on that person. So those are 2 really, really easy call and responses that I use. So I even have one that's just like, bring it back, and all they do is the clap. So that's even a simple one. So and Wade loves to clap because it's his clap. He wants y'all to know it's his clap, okay? I'm giving full credit. But those are 3 really simple ones. I have about 1 million of them that the kids have written or I've written. You know, like Adam said, I just take current songs and try to kind of manipulate them into a cheer or a chant. But that's instead of saying, "Who wants to hear 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 one more time?" Like, I don't even want to hear that one more time because it's so annoying. But if I say stop, they immediately know, oh, buddy, she's ready to go. So they say, "Wait a minute, let me throw my attention to you." And the reason I have them hit their desk is so that way, and I know it's kind of hard, but they hit their desk. That way, everything's out of their hands are on their desk, they're facing the front, they're focused, and they're ready to go. So that's a couple easy call and response chants. Do they remember them all? Oh, yes. They remember them better than I do. Sometimes I'll even have to ask them for refreshers because I'm like, hold on, we've done so many. Oh, the kids, they know every rap song and every tune to every current hit on the radio. If they can remember all of that, they can easily remember some cheers or chants.
Okay, so 2 really simple ones. The first one I do is eyes on me, eyes on you. So I'll say, "Eyes on me," and they'll point and say, "Eyes on you." And I really emphasize the pointing. Here's why. Because you're going to have some really smart kids in your class who can do this. You'll say, "Eyes on me," and they're saying, "Eyes on you," and they're still working, writing, and they're not paying attention. So I always have them point, and I'll go to like the back of the room or the side of the room, and so it makes it easier for the redirection. The other one I actually got to see this out at a school, so I'm stealing it again, and I love stealing stuff and sharing it with everyone. It's from a song, I think by Lil Wayne, maybe? I don't know. Hope would not know. However, I'll say, "Look at me," and the kids say, "Look at you, look at us." And they have to do like a cheesy like pose afterwards just to kind of make it hammed up. So once again, it's "Look at me," and the kids say, "Look at you, look at us," and just cheese it up there. Y'all, it doesn't matter what you do. It makes no difference what you do. Have fun. Make sure you practice it. And then, most importantly, give those consequences. Y'all, if they're still talking after you are, tighten up, okay? You set the tone. You set the, you're going to make the point to either make this great or write an email to Hope and say it didn't work. So make it great. Less emails for Hope.
Yeah, we don't want emails about that. All right, so somebody asked, do they always shout the cheers? We're big about, if you come to visit RCA, which you can do, don't forget that we have educator training typically every Friday, so you can come see all of this in action. It kind of sounds crazy and chaotic, but that is why we said at the very beginning that you have to think about how you're going to incorporate this into your classroom. You've got to set that tone. So, really, we're all about with the kids, anything you do, be big, be bold with it. So, yeah, they always are up and they're always singing and dancing, because if they're lifting someone up and they're saying, boom, clap the sounds of our brain, that little cheer, you wouldn't want them saying, boom, clap the sounds of our brains, the smartness goes on and on. And like, who gets motivated by that? But if the drums are going and they're going, boom, clap the sounds of our brains, the smartness goes, and they're really lifting one another up, then that student that got the answer correct really feels some kind of way about that. So
I'll tell you what, if the kids don't do a good enough job when they're celebrating someone else, fuss them out and do it again. Because one day it's going to be your turn to be celebrated, and you don't want the rest of the class doing a half job on that. Make them do it again.
I saw someone say that the reading teacher next door might not be too happy about that. Y'all, here's the deal.
Oh, well.
It's part of the environment and culture at RCA, and the kids honestly get so accustomed to it. My husband teaches next door to me, and he plays the electric guitar. So he's always his signature has now been that he parry bombs. So we've coined that term, and that's what Wade does. But he plays the electric guitar, and so when he's over there really jamming out to a tune, here's what I know: those students are engaged, they're excited about what they're learning. You know what? My kids, they'll even be taking tests sometimes. It does not faze them one bit because they're so accustomed to it. That's part of the culture, and that's what we've really worked hard to establish and create at RCA. Anything that you want to say about that, Adam?
No, you said it. You said it all.
He said, oh, well.
I said you got it all.
Okay. All right. So any other, those are pretty much the cheers and chants. I could go all day with cheers and chants because I literally have that many. So could Adam, but and so could Wade.
Yeah,
but
I want to say.
Okay, go ahead. You're gonna wrap it up.
So one thing, a big question that we get often is, my students, they don't like to dance, or they don't like to so and so. You have to connect with your students. Before I came to RCA, I worked at a school. It was in the country. They're not going to really connect to hip hop music. Some of them will, of course. But you have to find music they connect with. Yes, you need to be traditional to yourself. I still play the music that I like in my classroom. But you also need to connect with those students as well. So learn what your students like to listen to. Watch TV shows they love to watch, and try to incorporate those in your cheers and chants. It's very important. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we even have, oh my gosh, like I'm even thinking about, we have an easy one that everybody I think has used at RCA at a time or two. And all it is Adam on? And the whole class goes, wipe him down. So that, I think Mahari Casa actually came up with that. Yeah. That's like a signature cheer or chant. So yeah, at the school that we came from, you might have to look up country music, and you might have to write cheers or chants for country music. It's all about what's going to get your kids. I mean, right. You can get the guitar going for those too. So it's all about what gets your kids excited and what is relevant to them. Every single classroom, every single group of students is going to be different. This is what works for our kids. You can incorporate cheers or chants. They might look 100 times different in your school, in your classroom, than they do at RCA. So any other questions before we sign off of here? Hopefully you've got some good cheers or chants. Please remember, Adam, can you pay attention to some of the...
we scared them off.
We might have scared... Yeah, we did lose some people. All right. But please remember that the importance of this is not to take away instructional time. As soon as that cheer or chant is over, you're right back to instruction, and that is done. That's your job as the teacher. You've got to show them that's the expectation. All right, so any questions?
We already ate, Kirk.
But yes, Kirk, come over. Come on over, buddy.
You can come. It's an RCA party at the house tonight.
We already ate.
All right, so any questions about cheers or chants? I'm going to give you a second, and then we're just going to say goodbye and sign off. And all right, sing again, Hope. Are you serious?
They wanted you to do. Someone asked for the boom song.
Do the boom one again.
Oh, okay. So I'll say Nadira. Nadira is so smart, and they'll say, boom, clap the sounds of our brain. The smartness goes on and on and on, and boom, clap the sounds of our brains. We're really smart. We're really smart. Yeah, boom. So that's how that one goes.
Yay.
Thank you.
Sit down.
And then they do the clap. Yep. Okay, question. What grade does RCA scale? Oh gosh, I missed that question. It was something that I think it was about grades at RCA. So we're 5 through 8. So we're grades 5th grade through 8th grade. But understand, and Adam, if you could maybe catch some more questions.
I'm looking.
I started these things in 1st grade when I had 1st graders. I mean, they love it. They need movement probably just as much as middle schoolers do. So definitely it can be incorporated into high school. We have high school teachers that tell us all about their cheers and chants.
Yes, Hope's going to put it on her blog.
Yes.
Shoot, I saw another question that I missed.
I know, I do it. Okay, post your questions one more time. We're trying to get to them.
Tell them your blog site.
Okay, my blog is www.elementaryShenanigans.com. So I will put this, you have a replay for 24 hours. If you're watching the replay, you can also tweet me questions. I'm at Hope King Teach. This is at Wade King 157, I think.
You sure?
Adam, you're just Adam Devika?
At Adam Devika on Twitter, Facebook.
So you can also ask, does Wade blog too?
No. Sorry.
He needs to.
Sorry.
Have you posted the Jenga Periscope? Y'all, the Jenga Periscope is coming. I accidentally deleted it. A total mistake. But I'm going to retape it. I'm about to do a video here in just a few minutes so I can get that up on the blog. I promise y'all it is coming. I know y'all been asking for it. I promise. Yeah. Jenga is coming to you.
So someone asked about what grade do we scale back the cheers and chants at RCA? I teach 8th grade. I teach 5th or 8th grade, and we do them from 5th all the way to 8th grade. Adam has done.
I've done this in the high schools
as well. I mean, students just want to have fun.
You got to sell yourself.
Yes,
all right?
I was about to say that.
Be a salesman. All right, if you go into it saying, "Oh, this is going to suck," but we're going to do it. Of course, they're going to hate it. Yeah. Go into it with the excitement and be into it. That's how you're going to get into it.
That is probably the number one piece of advice I can give you for anything. Even if you're teaching Greek and Latin roots, I don't care if you're teaching the most boring content on the face of the planet, or if you're doing cheers or chants, or if you're doing the most engaging lesson that you possibly have in your bag of tricks. Regardless of what it is, you have got to act like it is the coolest thing that you have ever seen, ever heard of, ever, even learned about in your entire life. Your enthusiasm is contagious, y'all. Your students are going to match whatever your enthusiasm is. That's the level that they're going to match. So remember that. It's contagious, and you can't introduce stuff and sell stuff like this. You just can't do it. All right, other questions? Anything else? What subjects do the Kings teach?
Yeah.
Everything. No. But I teach 5th grade reading, and then this year I'll be teaching 5th grade science as well. And then I'll teach 6th grade reading and writing. So that's what I teach.
So last year I taught 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade science, 8th grade ancient civilization, social studies, the 7th grade, and then I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade current events. This year, I'm teaching 5th grade math, and then I'll be teaching 8th grade ancient civ, and then 7th and 8th grade current events. So, yeah.
And we use cheers and chants in all those grades. And I've used them in 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I've used them everywhere.
Yeah, I've taught from 3rd grade to 8th grade, so.
Someone has to keep the same chants every year. There's a couple, I guess, that will go through the years, but each teacher tries to get their own. And the cool part is, because there's always new music coming out, the kids are always reinventing them. That's a great thing. If you're not comfortable creating these yourself, have the kids do it. Just give them an idea and run with it.
Yeah, you'll see that after you start incorporating cheers and chants. Like, my kids come to me with notebooks full. They're like, Miss King, I thought about this cheer or chant. I thought about this idea. So once they get familiar with them, they just have them, and you can keep incorporating them. Can you share a chant with us right now? Oh my goodness, we shared a ton. Go back and watch the replay.
I think that was to Kirk. Was that
to Kurt?
I don't know.
Okay, well, if you're wanting us to share a chant, we shared like 10.
Watch this again.
Watch the replay. All right, anything else, y'all? We're trying to get all of your questions because I know I don't have time for that sometimes. But any more questions? Thank you for scoping. Kids, seriously, they really do. Their ideas are way better than mine. Anything else?
Indoor
and
recess.
I saw somebody.
Someone asked for a good indoor recess activity. The Dance Revolution is pretty fun.
That is
fun. Go Noodle.
Go Noodle.
Yeah. I love Go Noodle.
Really cool.
Yeah. All right. So it looks like it's all the questions. So we have enjoyed making a fool of ourselves. So if we can do it, y'all can do it too.
This is between all of us here tonight, right?
What happens on Periscope?
Yeah, the singing and dancing that gets deleted after 24 hours.
What happens on Periscope stays on Periscope. That's just how it is. Y'all can't take this in your classroom and be like, hey, y'all, look at this really cool cheer. Yeah. You can't do that. Oh my gosh, they would no.
Come to RCA.
Yeah, come to RCA and visit. I will be putting this on my blog. I promise I'll upload it all for you. We might have to have a round 2 because that's how many cheers and chants we have. We could probably share cheers and chants all day long. Can you repost the magic lock? Yes, it's going on my blog. I did save that one. I didn't delete it. So Jenga, I promise, and my magic lock, Unlock the Magic, both of those are going up on my blog. I pinky promise. I'm working as fast as I can, y'all. I promise. All right. So thank y'all so much. Thank you, Adam, for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having
more
me.
time. We're about to have an RCA party. Kirk, you coming? So one more time, don't forget to go buy his book, Inside the Trenches by Adam Devika. A lot of this stuff that we're talking about, things that engage your students, is in this book. So if you're looking for ideas, Hope, a book, Not gonna happen, y'all.
No, I already told. I'm going to be their ghostwriter. I already got the title of their book. I've got the
happen.
title of their book. I got it on lock. Don't you worry. I've got their book ready.
So let us know though. Like I said, I gave you our our Twitter handles. So let us know how you're using cheers and chants in your classroom. We would love to hear some of the ones that you create, that you come up with. Send us a little video. I always love seeing how teachers incorporate.
And download the RCA app.
yeah.
Share that there. It's a lot of fun. Free app. Just
So
type in Ron
boom
Clark
chant
Academy.
again, hope. Oh my, okay. I'm doing this boom chant one
And then we're
more
done.
time, and then we're
done.
signing off. All right, so it's when I give the kids, there's always some kind of signal. So I'll give the kids a signal, and I'll say, Nadir is so smart, and they'll say, boom, clap the sounds of our brains. The smartness goes on and on and on, and boom, claps the sounds of our brains. We're really smart. We're really smart. Yeah, boom.
By the way, that's her dance move on everything.
That's the only.
This is the hope.
This is where I
dance move.
live. It's here or it's here, y'all. Okay, that's it. That's it. I put a picture on my blog of first day of school last year, and I was getting it with the break dancer. That's all I have to say about that. I don't care
may
what
or may
Ron
not
Clark
have
says.
happened.
I know he says I have horrible dance moves. I don't care what he says. All right, so thank y'all so much for joining us on a Sunday night. We appreciate you. We hope that you'll put this to use in your classroom. If you're starting school this week, best of luck. That's so exciting. Make it exciting from day one. Enthusiasm is contagious, y'all. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised if you step out of your comfort zone, how much your kids will respond and step out of their comfort zone. All right, so we start on September 2nd with kids. I've got a lot to do between now and then. So it's coming. All right, guys, thank y'all so much for joining us. If you're just now tuning in, watch the replay. We gave you a ton of cheers and chants and ideas to incorporate with your students. We hope you enjoyed them. We'll see y'all later.
Be awesome. Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys. Oh, no. Disaster.